What's going on YouTube? Back in the garage again. In this video we're going to be going over the Suzuki Bandit and some of the progress I made on the bike off camera. I didn't really feel like filming the other day. I was just having an off day, so I just focused just wrenching on it. Made some progress. I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. We'll just wing it basically. So yeah, let's just get you up to speed and continue wrenching on this. Okay, as you can see, it's off the jack stands. Front wheel is on. Making some progress. I like it. Got the forks completely bolted down. Well, I think I got to tighten a few things yet. But I got the clip-ons on. I got a bunch of wiring I got to take care of yet. But I also cleaned the brake calipers. I put new brake pads in, lubed up and everything. They were filthy. They were really bad. Like nobody did any maintenance to this bike, it seems like. But whatever. I also obviously put tripping over the wire here. Put the brake rotors on both sides. And this side here I have the magnet for the COSO gauge. I also got the oil cooler tab fixed. This one was snapped off. Had to get it re-welded on. Got that mounted on there and all bolted up to the oil pan on the bottom. I might actually end up repainting this again. I don't know how I feel about it. It really didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to, which is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get it off, but it is what it is. Yeah, so got the clip-ons on, routed the choke cable. I still have to hook that back up. It's just dangling in there. I gotta go through the wiring yet, and yeah, it's kind of a mess. I gotta remember where all this crap goes. But I also started painting the headlight bucket, and this was a chrome ring. Overall, it turned out all right. I think I might end up respraying it just because it was really cold yesterday. I got my fingerprints all over it, but there's some sags in it, and it needs to dry a little bit more before I sand it again and hit it again with some paint. But overall, it's going to turn out pretty decent, I think. Let that sit there. I'll probably sand that down and paint it at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm going to continue on the bike. I'm not sure where I'm going to start today. Maybe try to finalize some wiring, or I'm not sure yet. But I'll pick up once I figured that out. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I decided to continue working on the front of the bike here. I got the new grips on. Put back together the throttle with the throttle cables. Started putting mirrors on. Got one on there. I got to put the other one on yet. I'm trying to figure out how I want to route everything. I don't want to have to stuff this whole thing inside the headlight bucket. I'm trying to avoid that. Another thing, I think I got these backwards, this inner piece. I think I got them on the wrong sides because the bolt is like cocked. So yeah, take those off and switch them around to see if that makes it better. I'm in the process of putting the mirrors on. I still have that one down here to put on. I got this one to put on yet on this side. They're pretty simple. You just gotta cut the end here, slide it in, tighten it up. The problem I did run into is even with this fully expanded, it still wasn't grabbing correctly. So what I did is to fatten this part up, so I just put a little bit of electrical tape around it, and it seemed to grab really good on this side. So I mean, she ain't moving. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on. Headlight bucket, started messing with that a little bit.
Started sanding. As you can see, I got a nice run right there. I think I'm just gonna hit the whole thing with 400 grit lightly, sand out all the imperfections, and just repaint it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be better than what I see here. If you look, it has all kinds of crap in it, and it just didn't go well. So I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, first I gotta finish putting that mirror on, and then I'll move on to the headlight bucket. So I got both of the mirrors finally put on. All the stuff that I'm doing right now is just little tedious stuff. It takes a while to do, to get it to position the way I want and stuff like that. So I already can see that I want to bring this up just a little bit because it's not even right there. It's not even, so I'm gonna have to reposition that. I was having problems with the throttle that wouldn't snap back, and here, even though that they were new cables, I still had to oil them. So it just, normally I wouldn't have to oil them, but for some reason I had to squirt some oil down inside and let them work its way through, and now it snaps back real nice. I currently have the throttle cable and push-pull cables adjusted so they're max bottomed out. Same with the idle right here, the idle adjuster. I have that maxed out so it can't go any farther down. The reason I did that is I want to have the absolute zero bottom baseline for when I go to sync the carbs. I also started putting this back splash shield in. It's loosely in there right now. I had to clean it. I mean, it's still kind of screwed up looking. I could probably clean a little bit better right in here, but overall it'll still do the job. I mean, you don't really see that, it's underneath, so I wish it would have cleaned up a little bit better. Right now I'm probably actually going to unbolt the carbs and move them back just so I can get the tubes on the vacuum ports. Like, there's one right here, there's one all the way across, but they had these little tiny caps. That makes it, I can't, it's too dark, but it's like, it's right there. So I think I'm going to pull the carbs off, not completely out of the bike, but set them back. So bring them back like that so I can get those caps all off, and I can put the tubes on I need to do the carb sync and bolt them back on. And once I sync the carbs, I can undo it, put the caps back on, and bolt the carbs back into place. I don't see any other way that would be easy to go about that, so it is what it is. Like I said, all the stuff I've been doing is just a little tedious, time-consuming stuff. I really don't want to have to cram all that wiring into the headlight bucket. It's kind of hard to gauge it when I don't have the headlight bucket to bolt on right now, since I have to sand it down and repaint it. So yeah, I guess I'll come back once I have these carbs unbolted and those vacuum lines put on, so I can sync them when the time comes. Oh yeah, I did get a new clutch basket. It's I'm waiting for it to show up in the mail, but once I get that, I can finally put this clutch back together and put some oil in the damn thing. So yeah, it's slowly coming together, but little bit by little bit. Decided it's a lot easier if I just take the carbs right off, and I'll re-zero everything out. To have the carbs like sit back, like I said, and try to get in there and get these caps off that haven't been off since probably new. Just a nightmare. So just easier if I pulled them off, and you know, I can show you actually what caps I'm talking about. There's one already there that I took off. There's one there and one here, and this one right here. Normally it goes to your vacuum pump, so that one is like the easiest. You don't have to worry about that one. But yeah, I gotta take these two off yet and put my hoses on for doing the carb sync. And the thing that I'm going to do is the bottom nut right here. I have that set to where the cables need to be, so I just have to tighten it down to that nut. As long as I don't spin it, it should be the perfect setting. I mean, give or take just a tiny bit, but it'll still work. And at this point I should probably lube this stuff up just so it moves nice and free with no restrictions whatsoever. I mean, it does. It works perfectly fine, but since it's off again, I might as well just do it. Vacuum line's all on. I'm thinking I might actually put a zip tie on each one before I put the carbs back in, just so I know that it's a good seal. I couldn't fit this diameter vacuum line on this nipple here. It's just because it's just a tiny bit bigger, so I had to convert it. Luckily I had everything already. I oiled all the joints right here, make sure that they're going to be slotting real good with some penetrating oil. Now that I have it off, I'm just going to adjust this so I know that it is completely bottomed out. That right when it's about to touch, right there. That's bottomed out for sure. To the zeroed out, I should say, not bottomed out. But now I can put the carbs back in after I zip tie these to make sure I don't have a vacuum leak, and hook up the throttle cables again. And yeah, then I'll move on to the next thing. Right, I got the carbs back on with those vacuum lines I need for syncing. I think what I'm going to actually do next is I'm going to set up the rest of the gauge to do the syncing, get all that ready to rock and roll, and kind of have it setting on this side of the bike, so I can do the clutch on that side, do this, and have the gauges sitting right on this side. I'll have that all set up, so once I install the clutch, I can actually do the first startup right after that, and sync the carbs right away. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's how it goes. We'll see. But yeah, so now I think I'm going to use my one camera stand right there, tripod. I think that's how I'm going to rig it all up. So I'm going to hook it up to the tripod there and see if I can't get it to work. That was weird. Alrighty, so I got my syncing tool all set up. I also got my gas container to feed the carb all set up. I flooded the carbs again to make sure that the bowls were full. As you can see, fuel level has not moved and she's open. So right now I'm going to close it. If I can turn it damn thing. Close it. She's closed. And I didn't see anything dripping, which is good. So I think we're all set. All I need now is the clutch. I also did not hook up the choke cable. Reason being because I gotta take these carbs back off to disconnect these lines and hook up the plugs again. So I'll just manually engage the choke when I need to. Right here. Let's manually do that. It's not a big deal. Looks like I'm not going to get to the headlight bucket. I'll maybe work on that tomorrow. Hopefully this clutch basket comes in soon, because it's coming down to nitty gritty. I still need to do body work to the tank and sand down the rear tail section and paint those. But I want to get the bike up and running first, test everything, then I can give that a shot. Ooh, I saw something I didn't plug in. Where is that? This would have sucked. I need to plug this in. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I might block off all the other vacuum lines, like block that off. Here's another one. Block this off right here. That's open atmosphere. It's supposed to go to your air box, which I have that filter right there for, and that goes to that hose. So it's not a big deal. I can easily just hook that up, but I think I might just plug, where'd it go? Plug this, and there's another end right here. Let's pull this up. Plug this so I don't have to worry about any vacuum leaks when I go to do this. I don't think this would affect me. It shouldn't, but to be on the safe side, I'm gonna plug them anyway. What else? I gotta figure out how to hook up the horns, where I'm gonna mount those. I did get the new one, the new vacuum pump, which it looks like brand spanking new. So that was only $30, so I'm stoked about that. Yeah, so I need that clutch basket in the worst of ways right now. I could put that in and technically fire this thing up. Put that in, put oil in, and try to start it. Yeah. So until I get that, I'm almost going to be at a standstill. I mean, I still have other little tiny things I can do, like the body work. And those side panels right there, those two, I'm going to end up wrapping those with some fake carbon fiber looking wrap. I'll show you that in another video. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. I might even use the same wrap on the actual carbon fiber. This is the front fender here. It's a shame. It's a real carbon fiber, but the clear coat's just completely hammered, and I don't know if I can bail it out because it's down to the fiber in some spots. So to sand that, I'll most likely destroy the carbon, and in turn it would just turn into a mess. So it's either I'm gonna wrap this with fake carbon fiber stuff, or I might just sand it and high build primer it and paint it black or something. We'll see. So I have a lot more painting to do. I'm gonna end up painting the tail section and the fender, and I still have to finish painting the headlight bucket. So I really wish this would have turned out first shot, but unfortunately not everything does. So yeah, well, it is what it is. So is there anything else I can do today? I don't even know what time it is. It is 3:45. I might do a little bit more today, but most likely I'll put that in the next video. So yeah, it's coming along. It's coming together. I still also have to pull this rear wheel off. I want to paint that too. So maybe I can do that tomorrow too. Everything can stay hooked up. I just have to jack up the front and take the rear wheel off. So it's not a big deal. I got plenty of slack in those lines to do what I need to do.
Alright, that's going to finish up the video for the progress on the Suzuki Bandit 1200 on this one. There's a lot of little tedious stuff I'm doing. It doesn't seem like I'm getting a lot done, but it's a lot of tedious things. Routing things a certain way so it works the best when you turn those handlebars, this and that, so things don't bind up. But it's coming along slowly but surely. I still had to do body work to the tanks, the body work to the tail section, body work to the front fender for the tire. I'm still waiting for the clutch basket to show up so I can ultimately start this bike and sync the carburetors. I'm stoked about that. What else? There's a bunch of little stuff I still need to do before the bike is actually finished, you know. But yeah, I can't wait. It's coming along little bit by little bit. I will get there. I still might get this done before spring hits. It's gonna be close still. So if I do, maybe I can push myself and get the other project done before spring too, and have both up for sale. That'll be awesome. If you find this video interesting or you want to follow along, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Till next time, take it easy.